Okay, recording setup. Hopefully the stream's looking good. Welcome back. This is the third round. We've gone through LostHero won the match against Steven, and Pyro won the match against Patrick. We're ready to get started. Heartland Shield, random. They'll have to tell each other who they are, but that's fine by me. So we're kicking this thing off right now. This is going to be very interesting. Every match has been pretty darn good so far. I've been really happy with how a lot of these players have been operating. Small tweaks here and there, but still looking good. So we've got a Stealth General for LostHero and Vanilla GLA for Pyro. This is going to be interesting. Every match so far, I believe we've had either a China or a United States on the docket. So this is the first time we're going to see two GLA players in this tournament really try to spread out and hopefully beef up their economy on the quick. Not too sure how these players are going to operate. LostHero has been really good on his expansions, and yeah, really I'm just going to wait and see. Considering Pyro really kicked up the flanking in the last match, I'm going to see how this turns out. Lots of workers going around. Workers are cheap. They're only 200 bucks a pop. You can spend them out, get some real expansion going on. Looks like both players are doing it. LostHero might be a little faster. Pyro has sold off his command center. So has LostHero. And like I said before, the command center I feel is far more important for the United States or China because it does allow them to have the radar capability. But for GLA, that's a lot less important considering you can do the radar van to take that responsibility off. So let's see here. Pyro is setting up a little bit faster on the economy game. Just seeing the workers just pass by each other is always interesting. And LostHero is setting up a beacon. Again, not too sure what the beacon is. I thought that was for my amusement or my use, but I'm not too entirely sure. I'm sure we're going to get a technical coming out of here very soon to get a quick rush in. Pyro is taking notes from the last few matches. He's making sure that he's defending up a bit better. LostHero's got a tunnel network on Pyro's side. That's going to make this very interesting. And yep, we've got one on the opposite as well. Tunnel network here from Pyro. It's going to be very interesting. As the Stealth General, hopefully that's going to give a little bit of an advantage here for LostHero. How are we doing on cash? Completely spent. About $1,000 That's okay, as long as we're not seeing 5,000 or 6,000 already. And there we go. The first strike by LostHero went ahead and shut down that tunnel network that Pyro had going on. LostHero already has a quick way to get into his enemy's base. That's going to be very interesting to see how that pans out. And now Pyro's aware of it. That technical is not going to hold up that tunnel network. Okay, got to be careful there. There we go. Standard operations for GLA. Just run the workers over. That's a lot of economic damage. Bam. Terrorists really cleaned up that area. That was a really good push from LostHero. LostHero is also doing a pretty good job maintaining that economic baseline, capping up some of these. Now, of course, as I said before, if you capture the oil derricks first, you get what's called a finder's fee. In Command & Conquer General 0 Hour, it's $1,000. I didn't see the money, but if you're the first to cap it, that's $1,000 in the bank right off the top, which is very helpful to be the first one to cap it. Okay, and like I said, as the Stealth General, that's going to give a bit of an advantage over here for LostHero. Pyro's rebuilding back up. Having all of these defenses stealth really helps out. And of course he's going to cap the oil derricks here as well. Good move so far. Pyro's working on a technical army himself. This is still early game. Pyro can absolutely do some serious damage against this base here with those technicals. Hopefully he's got some RPG troopers in there. Hopefully he's got something that's really going to pack a punch. Now, he should bring a radar van or something with him, or Pyro has absolutely no idea where base defenses are located. Pyro is teching up. That's the palace. There we go. LostHero has capped the rest of the civilian structures, giving him a significant edge in the economy. And I don't see really any teching up from LostHero. Teching up isn't mandatory. It does give you an edge, but again, like I said before, unless you've got the economy to back it up, it doesn't really help too much. And here we go. Pyro's pulling the same maneuver. Got a little bit done there. Killed, what, 3 workers or so? Not too shabby. Another technical rush here. Civilian structure right there is going to give those RPG troopers a significant amount of armor, considering they would just get hosed up by that tunnel network. Yep, this is going to be a real thorn in Pyro's side, absolutely. Unless we really see artillery or something to counteract some of these things, this is going to be really difficult. But Pyro is building up his palace, which it's built. But right now, it appears as if LostHero has the greater control of the map. He's got his 2 supply drops, he's got 4 oil derricks. This is going to be a very long uphill battle for Pyro. Yeah, see what I mean by significant amount of armor? That's really paying off for LostHero. And what do we see here? Yep, because of the tunnel network, we see a strike ready to move. And now the technicals will move in, deal with the infantry. Technicals, similar to the Humvees, do not have a ton of health. They are cheap, they are fast, but they are not tanks. Absolutely not. But here we go, a quad rush. That's going to put Pyro in a really dicey situation. Oh, and there's the patented rocket buggies, or as we call them, rocket bunnies. That could hopefully buy Pyro some time, but there's a lot of armor here. It's going to take quite a bit of work to peel all that away. Yep, like I said, it's going to be really hit run with some of these units. Let's take a look on the map. Anything else of interest going on? I'm seeing a lot more purple on the map. LostHero's expanding as we're talking. Pyro's doing a pretty good job with the micro with just these few units. Just goes to show how that extra bit of technology can really help out. I don't know if this is all he's going to need, but I think Pyro's doing a good job banking in, banking out. And now with a fresh legion of quad cannons, it's going to be even more difficult. The good thing is they repair quickly because they have the upgrades. They are 2 chevrons. Yep, see a little wrench right there? A little bit of upgrades. But yeah, all they're doing is just buying time. They're not really delaying anything. Without a command center, even at this point, even if Pyro was a level 3 general, he could be making some serious bank on these units he's messing up, but he's not really getting too far. Of course, both these guys are sitting on $10,000 right now. That's a good amount of money. And with these workers, he could at least build some defenses or something. But yeah, all these quads are going to be really difficult to counter. This has been pretty impressive with just those 3 rocket buggies and 2 technicals, what they've been able to do. Yeah, Pyro's got to be in 2 or 3 places at once with that army. And what do we have here? Barracks, okay. Pyro absolutely not going out without a fight. I'm still amazed those 2 technicals are still alive. Yeah, wow, look at that. Both rank 3 it looks like as well. Pyro definitely has some quick response units to deal with all the quads, and I'm still, like I said, amazed that he's still around. Yep, this could be the end. That is way too many quads for him to handle. Another dozen right there. What, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9? Yeah, that's a lot more to handle too. And unfortunately, those rocket buggies are a little too close. They're going to take a bunch of damage from those quads. And that went that.
You have been defeated.
Now, hopefully switching the realm and seeing if we get the Stealth General for Pyro, hopefully Pyro will be able to expand and pull some tricks as well. But let's go ahead and jump in the room and see what these guys are up to. Hey, guys. Dead silence. Up for the second round?
Potato.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Whenever you guys are ready, the room is open.
Well, I wondered if I could get out of the screen of the thing. Yeah, fair.
So, you'll switch. Pyro, your stealth, yep. And, Hero, your mic still is not working, sorry. Did you want a second to figure it out, Hero, or you want me to just get started? Okay, no worries. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. Good answer, and best of luck to both of you.
Potato.
Potato. Okay, what was this match 3, round 2, or however you want to say it? The gentlemen have switched their roles. Authentic Pie, I'm sure to be Authentic Pyros now. The GLA Stealth General, whereas LostHero is just vanilla GLA. Lots of rushes, lots of different tactics throughout this tournament. I've been really happy to see what these players are capable of. And this map is fairly complex, I would say. A lot of civilian structures do open up some opportunity for in-city battling, which we have not seen in this tournament yet. But this has been mostly either a rush battle, or I guess it's been mostly rushing, or it's been that long, actually it's been that long game of where these guys just stab at each other, and it's just ridiculous. In a good way. I don't mean that in a bad way, but in a good way. So let's see, Pyro setting up shop. He just sold his command center, giving him another $1,000. Especially if you're considering a rush, that's always a good, well, I won't say always, but like I said before, a lot of the more veteranized players that have their build order dialed in seem to do that. They seem to sell their command center, give him another $1,000 and work from there. So, LostHero working up on a war factory right away, or an arms dealer, I suppose you'd call it, because that's the name of it. Pyro setting up some early warning defenses. When this gun fires, it'll reveal itself, but since that blocks off a couple of entrances here, that's not a bad plan in my opinion. Let's see here, what are we doing about expansion? There's Pyro's second, and this is LostHero's second one right here as well. Going right after that oil. Good move. That finder's fee really helps. And I'm assuming Pyro's doing the same. Is that a hijacker? What is that? I think that's a hijacker. Interesting. Hijackers are awesome. I think it's a hijacker. I could be totally wrong, but nah, I think that's a hijacker. Yeah, it is. Hijackers are great against United States or China because you can hijack their dozer pretty darn quick. Early game really makes it interesting. For right now, I'm not too sure what a hijacker is going to do against a GLA. At most, he's going to steal. It's probably a quad cannon. There's not enough high-tech stuff going around, or maybe just because it's stealth, Pyro's using it for surveillance. That could also be the case. And LostHero just capped. There we go, both of them. And it was hard to read, but you could have seen it. It was $1,000 right there. Now, the thing is, I don't see the hijacker on my minimap now that I'm noticing that. Because he's stealth? Even though I'm an observer? So that's a little weird. We'll have to keep an eye on him. Okay, both these guys should have resources coming in like crazy. Okay, terrorists. And there's a technical. Pretty standard GLA rush, which is interesting. Pyro's sitting on 3,000 bucks. I don't see where that... There he is. I kind of want to keep an eye on him. The funny thing is, before when this match started, I said that people weren't using this city to their benefit to block movement. Now that seems to be the opposite. Okay, and a radar van right there, so he's got to be careful. He's going to get detected. Okay, Pyro's working on capping up all his oil in kind. We're seeing a little bit of a spread out of... This worker just give up... Oh, no, there we go. Okay. We're seeing a bit more of a spread, a little more territory control, which is interesting. That's good to see. I'm happy to see that. You know, a little more defenses and protections here and there. This technical is probably going to do a pretty solid job. Oh, wow. Yup. That'll do. That'll do something. There we go. Took them both out. So instead of trying to worry about defending that himself, he just took them out. Pretty solid move. If you can't keep the resources, destroy them. That's the bigger point. There's absolutely no point in keeping those kinds of resources if your enemy's just going to cap them. So it's a solid move on Hero's behalf. What else do we see? I still see a little bit more fortification here in the city. Pyro moving right away to the palace, teching up early again. That could be dangerous. That's kind of what bit him in the butt before. But the rocket buggies that helped out after he got that tech up really did support. They took out a lot of quads. And probably run everyone over. Oh, it looks like just a little run and gun. Working on some serious econ control. That's going to be really interesting the way that pans out. Depending on how Pyro plays his next few bits of cash, if he spends it economically and builds black markets to try to get ahead in the long game, or he starts retaliating, it's going to be... We're going to have to just wait and see. Let's take a look at cash, shall we? Almost 2,000 there. And 4,000 there. So these guys are sitting on a little bit of coin. I'm not too sure what that even was, but it's dead now. Battle buses have a bit of armor on them. You can fill it up to, what, 8 infantry? They will really punch a hole in stuff. They're pretty powerful. Pyro's using the stealth defenses to the maximum benefit, making sure that he gets these things spread out. Of course, like I said before, they'll lose their stealth the second they fire at an opponent. But the simple fact of having them all over the place in stealth really will help out. Because LostHero won't know where Pyro is at, or where he's spreading his wings, so to speak. To which case, I would have loved to have seen a tunnel network over here on LostHero's side from Pyro. That would have been amazing. I'm seeing lots of infantry. I'm going to guess more battle buses, and then bam, I think that's the first black market. Taking a little bit of time to invest, that's a good plan. I don't see a black market here. How much money does Pyro have? He's got enough for one. That'll give him a good start again in the long term, considering he doesn't have any oil derricks. Now, one thing I'm almost thinking on top of all this, it could really turn the tide, is a super weapon. especially the Scud Storm. The Scud Storm can do a ton of damage, especially with tight-knit structures. If you see here, you've got a lot of vital structures from LostHero, very close proximity. 2 arms dealers and the supply, that would be perfect for a strike. Same thing with Pyro, right here, tight-knit together. And because they're not building base defenses, this is what they're doing. They're kind of consolidating everything into the corner. So now I saw a bunch of battle buses. Yep, they're just going to bulldoze right through. Oh, that battle bus went for a drink. Now, great graphics. You see these battle buses are damaged. This is what we saw before. Get them into the tunnel network, count to 2, and then eject them again, full health. That's how that works. You're going to need some serious anti-infantry, anti-vehicle to take care of battle buses. This is certainly a tactic that will pay off with it for itself with how many they've got. Pyro's doing his standard rocket buggies, and there's his first black market. It's always difficult to make that decision what to go for, economy or more military, especially when it's very close like this. Now hopefully for Pyro, those rocket buggies will do a little outranging. And did I just hear a German Kell? I don't even know. Rocket buggies can be really, really finicky, so he's got to be real careful with these things. He's got to do a lot of micro to get those things to be effective. Now, when the battle bus is down like this, it's still functional. The units inside are still operational. They can still fire out of it. See, just ejected them all. They're still usable, but now it turns into like a defensive structure. The bus pops up, it lands down. Oh my gosh, just swarms of crap. Look at that. Hey Maurice, welcome to the stream. This is a very dangerous game of cat and mouse. Yep, these two are grounded. Much more fortification in the city side. Yep, and now the rocket buggies can just pick apart the rest of these buses. That was still a very powerful punch. There's the German Kell. I knew I heard him somewhere. There you go. Smart move capping the civilian structure right here again, giving the infantry inside a lot of armor. Looks like it was just the one guy. Still, though, that could have been a really painful thing to deal with. Alright, German Kell's out and about. Is he going to do some sniping or just sit there? If he just sits there, it's also not a bad... Yep, there we go. There's one down. And he was detected for a second, and that's it. Yep, just cleaning out 1 or 2 of those rocket buggies and being able to cap them like this. I'm assuming he's going to cap it. Really is going to turn the tide here. Yep, look at that. There we go. It's going to be, yeah, it's going to get immediately surrounded, but any damage dealt is good damage dealt. Let's see here. Anything else really going on? I don't see too much, so I'm just going to stay right here. And a German Kell to counter the German Kell, or at least all the infantry. Yep, look at that. Just walk right past each other. Pyro's still working really hard with his all rocket buggy defense. Which is weird. It's an artillery unit and saying it defensively like that. I mean, it's totally appropriate. Can do it. Just kind of funny. Oh, how's this going to work? Counter snipe? Nope, not quite. Dang. I was really hoping that Jarmankel was going to get revealed with that snipe and then counter-sniped immediately. That would have been funny. 2,500 for Pyro. 7,000 or so for LostHero. Pyro's absolutely taking the approach, don't let the enemy take it, so he blew up his own stuff. Which may make sense considering he would need to build radar vans to find it. Now the thing is, I don't know if Pyro's realizing you can't run over the heroes. Oh. Yeah, you can't run them over. See how that just happened? Now he could use those as an idea of where the crap Jarmankel is. Oh, here come the battle buses. Yep, all those RPG troopers are just going to tear through all that. And with junk repair, yep, they've got it. I'm not seeing Jarmankel do a whole lot. Now, with some of these vehicles that have units inside of them, sniping it, all it does is it unoccupies the bus. I think we might see that now. Yep. So whoever was driving it is unoccupied. Pyro will be able to get some good kills in, but all that really has to happen is one of the infantry just has to get back in the bus. Oh, and it's been detected. And sniped. I'm not even too sure how he got detected unless it was a radar van scan, which could very well have been. He does have a radar van somewhere. He's got some black markets. Yep, there's the radar van. So it could have been a radar van scan. Gotta hand it to Pyro. He's not going down without a fight. He really has to change up those rocket buggies, though. That's not working out. Yep, so even if they can't move... Oh, he's still moving. This one can't move, though. Yeah, like I said, when they get destroyed, they pop up. They land as... I guess you can call them a structure. Can't really repair them. But, yeah, they become just immobile little defensive things. See another grouping of purple. Yep, rocket buggies, rockets, all the rockets. All my rockets. Hashtag all my rockets. That Jarmankel has just been a thorn in Pyro's side this entire assault. Coming through. Now, like I've said before, rocket buggies can be really weird to micro. Sometimes they'll take your order as a move order for some reason. It's just weird for me. I don't know why. Some of the mod packs that have come out, some of the, yeah, mod packs, I guess, for General Zero Hour have really done a lot of good work fine-tuning some of the mechanics. Some of the artillery is much better polished. Some of the things are really well dialed in. Pyro's been having internet issues for some time, so maybe he got dropped. I don't see him in TeamSpeak or Evolve anymore. I think he just got dropped. Oh. We're just going to let the time tick down. It'll eject him from the game, and then that'll be that. Just vote. If he really left, then there's that. He does have internet issues, so I thought that might have been it as well. Okay, I'm gonna go chat with Hero real quick, and then we're gonna get the next match started. Christian versus Sky. Hey, sorry about that. I don't know if your mic is working, it might not be, but if you wanted to chat after the tournament, I'd like to hear more about if stuff was said. But congratulations to you. Well played. And yeah, I'm gonna start the next round. So yeah, if you wanted to chat later, I'm cool with that. Okay. Sky, you ready?